Before we get into advanced note naming conventions, you need to know how to play a half step on the piano. In the image, you can see there are black keys and white keys on the piano. If you move between consecutive keys, you get half steps. Usually, this means you're moving from a white key to a black key. However, you'll notice there are some areas of the piano that do not have a black key in between. Moving from E to F is still a half step, even though there is no black key in between each individual key. So I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by this. So if you look at the piano keyboard, this very first note on the left is a C. We already know that because it's to the left of the double set of black keys. If we go up to this black key, it's half the distance between the C and the D. So this is a note that's in between. And you can continue going up by half steps throughout the entire piano just by going from one key to the next. So you have a C, this is a note in between, then D, a note in between D and E. Here, since there is no black key, E and F are actually half steps. So F to this key here is also a half step. This is a half step to G, another half step to A, half step, goes up to B, and then B to C is another half step, and it just keeps going like this throughout the rest of the keyboard. So we actually give names to these black keys as well, and they're usually related to the note name that is correlated to the white key. So if we have a C here, this could be what we call a C sharp. I'm going to talk more about this later. It could also be a D flat. So flat lowers a pitch by a half step, sharp raises it by a half step. But these black keys, they tend to have two different names because it depends on if you're coming down or if you're going up. And of course, if you hit a C sharp or a D flat, it's going to sound the same. So we're going to talk more about that a little bit later.